You know, we had that really long load screen. I was like, man, is this going to time out or not?
Did
Like,
it?
it was kind of close, but it did pretty
It did.
perfectly.
Yeah, that was a really long one. Maybe it could have been me too. It is my first game that I've loaded, but
Yeah. Well, guys, you
I
may
don't do the
notice already
preloader
on
thing.
the other end of the horn here, Zombie Grub sounds like she's got a deeper voice and maybe
Mhm.
a bit of
Yeah,
baritone to it. But of course, I am joined tonight by Tempo. So thank you very much, man, for joining me here on the cast. Hope you're gonna have a good time.
yeah.
Let's
Thanks for having me, brother.
faux
You want to
show.
introduce these players, though? Should I take it away with the first one?
You know what?
Hijack your stream.
Go ahead, man. Get
All
that
right.
kill steal in.
Spawning in the bottom left corner, representing CLGAC. Not sure what it means. It is the blue Terran player, Marineking. Good.
Did you say CLG like the LOL team?
I don't think I did. Maybe
No.
I did.
Well, I just want to point out, guys, this is the Korean Latin Gamers Academy
Korean
team.
Latin gamers, right? Okay,
So-
I knew. Yeah, I knew KLG. I wasn't sure what AC meant. That's why. So
Yeah, we've had a
that's-
lot of cool Korean Latin Gamers players like in Copa America, and this is, I guess, their academy team, so that's pretty awesome. I expect good things of this man, but his
This
opponent,
is a really early SCV, isn't it?
for the scout, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Depends how paranoid you are coming up against your opponent. I mean, he's fighting against a Grandmaster player at the top right corner of the map from Solaris Gaming, the Red Zerg player, JonSnow. And I don't know about how you get around town, Tempo, but I use a Segway.
I like it. I like it. Wow! It double hit me. Damn, Rifkin. Now I'm a
But-
thug snap. You get a thug snap for that one.
In all seriousness, though, the hatchery come down and all this time stuff, that's great, fantastic, whatever. But you're right, like the SV comes out a little bit earlier than you would expect. Oftentimes it's usually off of the barracks if you're really feeling a bit antsy, but usually you just rely on the Reaper. Versus
Yeah.
Protoss, you send out that SV every time, 9 times out of 10, and it's absolutely necessary 9 times out of 10. Versus
Yeah.
Zerg, unless you're worried about an all-in, that's usually not the case.
Yeah, and even as Terran, really, what is gonna really hit you in the beginning besides
Well-
like a 6 pool, right? And you don't really see that as much in this matchup. I don't know the last time I've seen it, but
I think it's
sometimes
also-
when CC first was more popular on the low ground, I guess maybe it was more viable, but
Well, it's also one of those things where if you can get injured and mid block off, sometimes it's really nice to do. It's not that great to do though, because the Zerg player will just skip to their third. Bob's your uncle;
Yep.
they take a quick third anyways. Doesn't really set them off. Just delays timings ever so slightly.
yeah. But like you were saying, yeah, he probably could be nervous as well, just kind of covering all of his bases. And yeah,
Well,
looks
it's
we're
only
gonna
got
see
one
pretty
so
much
far.
I was gonna say,
We're
I was
going
like,
there.
the setup, man. Let's do it. We're gonna do this all day. The alley oops are gonna be real today, Rifkin.
Alley oops, man. So I think one of the big things about Overgrowth, guys, ignoring who is playing right now, like whether it's Marineking, whether it's JonSnow, whether it's Tempo, whether it's me. Yo, actually, shove a manage behalf of the players. Recover replays. I'm just saying. But I think one of the big things about this map that makes it kind of a bit of a difficult task for both players is the third place and the fourth place are very exposed. Whether you want to do Hellion run bys, whether you want to do Ling run bys, it's pretty easy to pull off for both players. So while we oftentimes see a third base on this map pretty comfortably for all races, it really comes down to the question of that fourth, if it's even going to go to the late game.
Yeah, I mean even that fourth, it's relatively safe, but it does spread you pretty far thin. That Reaper gotta be careful.
You got really greedy or miscontrolled, I don't know which, but that 3 health Reaper does get out alive.
He's gonna regen that really quickly, but he did opt to go for 2 Reapers here. Didn't see that third one or anything to get too aggressive, but yeah, we're seeing pretty standard stuff here coming out from Marineking. He has his reactor on the barracks, going ahead to switch to that factory, and is getting a quick start put here. So, you think we'll see Cloak Banshees here, or just going straight?
So I'm still trying to get over the Marine King. If he is going to be going Banshees, the Tech Lab's coming down really late, which I don't like, and he didn't go for the second gas. So if it is going to be Banshees, it's going to be Cloakless Banshees. Truthfully, he might be better off just elevating Hellions up to the main. A lot of Zerg players put a lot of emphasis on the defense at the front, but you know, JonSnow's actually is coming with something kind of relentless here. There is no bunker down, and Reapers don't cut it versus Speedlings. They're great against not Speedlings because the Speedlings can catch them.
Yeah, it doesn't have any other units, but these Hellions may be able to ward away these Lings. But yeah, that was cutting it a little bit close there. Jeez.
I mean, you're gonna be a little bit worried running into Hellions. It doesn't matter how many Lings you have, but still,
Yeah,
this
true.
is that was already unneeded pressure to the point where, like, you know, dude, get your wall down, get a bunker down. You better do this ASAP.
Yep. And it doesn't seem like it is going to be Cloak Banshees at all. He's putting the Tech Lab on there on the barracks, but
Yeah.
of course didn't get the gas until just now. and he's adding up another barracks, but he hasn't produced anything from it yet. So
Yo,
I'm wondering just.
We're seeing something kind of classically annoying here too. This Overlord should not be able to sit in the base like this. I mean, the Marine now comes out to chase it out, but this is so much information. You got to see the starport. He saw nothing come out of the starport specifically, so there was no need to throw down spore crawlers. There's no need to waste those drones or those minerals. So, I mean, JonSnow, it'll only be the difference of like 150 minerals, 200 minerals, whatever, but still, it's the fact that he's able to play this without having to waste anything whatsoever. And that all comes from this one Overlord.
He didn't even lose the Overlord.
Yeah.
The Overlord survives too, so.
I'm also,
nice.
I'm not digging these scans coming out of Marineking. You've got two Reapers, 4 Hellions. You should not need to scout that natural with a scan. Those should still be mules at this point. Early on as a Terran player, you're going to be struggling for supply. You're going to be struggling for income. You need to be spending that money on mules. Or sorry, the energy on mules, not scans.
Yeah, for sure. And the creep set from JonSnow is pretty spectacular already. It's just 3 queens spreading the creep. We haven't seen a third base come down here from Marineking yet, so I'm wondering if we're just going to see a really powerful 2-base timing and see if it's able to...
That's kind of what it feels like gearing towards the all-in potentially, but...
Yeah.
He's been supply blocked several times this game, and that's really, really playing against him. I mean, there's roaches coming, and that's okay. But, oh, wow, how do we miss this? Look what's coming out of the roaches!
Whoa, okay.
So that Overlord that didn't die from earlier actually becomes an Overseer and becomes incredibly more dangerous. He's just going to stick the first Nidus out here. If he can, I'm sure he'll try and sneak one in the base, but this first Nidus Worm's not going to get a lot done, if it even gets made.
Wow, yeah, he put it right there. It's a really bold Nidus Worm put down there from JonSnow. And he doesn't really care about surprising his opponent. He just wants to get it out there, so it's pretty much like a proxy pylon for him, just to get those roaches there fast.
Yeah.
Because they don't have speed, I don't believe.
They do not. That is correct. So. Plus, that'll give them the speed bonus to run around on. But you know what? I always look funny. Like, look at the Nidus Worm. If you select it, it looks like it's like barely 1/5 or 1/10 full. Can you imagine? Like, how much supply do you need to actually put in there to fill up a Nidus Worm, right? Like,
oh my god.
I was another Nidus Worm's coming down. I mean, the point of this outside Nidus Worm, guys, it looks silly and useless, and it is, in fact. What it's meant to do is draw the attention of Marineking out here so JonSnow can get one in the main. Right now, Marineking's spending a lot of time looking for that Overseer. He knows something's up. And outside the front of his base, Queens are actually coming with combination creep tumors, possible transfuses. That Nidus Worm shouldn't die because he's got transfuses, but another one's being rebuilt anyways because why not?
Oh my god, look at the army supply of our Terran player here is, what is this, 29 to 85? I don't even think he has enough.
I really don't do it. He's pulled the SCVs. I mean, he's getting ready to repair. He's throwing down more bunkers. I like these moves, but this is something you do to stop bailings, not this many roaches.
Yeah, they're going to be able to pick off all those SCVs. That bunker, I think it's not even going to be able to be repaired in time, and it does go down. Marineking's under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, a little bit tough to hold without siege tanks. I mean, had he known this was coming, I'm sure he would have siege tank or 2 down, and this would have been a much easier hold. But Marauders outside of the bunker trying to run into the bunker, but the Queen transfuses are insane tempo. Nothing is freaking dying.
Nothing at all. Medevac's even able to get taken out here, and JonSnow is going to push, take out the second bunker. Maybe there's only 2 Marauders here, and the Widow Mines are getting shot down too because of that Overseer. And GG will be called.
I wanna give our before we get out of this, I wanna give our Terran player a little bit of credit though, because I mean, doing things like being able to pay attention to the Nidus Worms in the main, having the SCVs not pulled but instead Marines in position to stem. I mean,
yeah,
it's not like, oh my god, that's fantastic gameplay. It totally makes up for the loss, but it was cool to see his attention to detail, because there are a lot of times where people don't pay attention to the Nidus Worms.
And I find it funny that we were like, oh, maybe our Terran player is going to be doing an all-in off of 2 bases, and then we get JonSnow with the Nidus Worm going ahead and pretty much, quote-unquote, all-inning himself. But it worked out. It worked out for him, and despite the scans, you know, and the scouting from a Marineking, he didn't see that Nidus Worm coming at all, so it is a bit of a shame, of course, to lose and get surprised by that, but luckily for him, he didn't get in his main or anything like that. It just was he didn't have enough. He simply didn't have enough units to hold it.
Now that's a feeling a lot of Terran players have definitely had in Copa America and in general, where it's like, okay, that's a lot of Zerg.
Yep, that is a lot of Zerg, man. And you hear that, and it's like, oh god, where is it?
I really like that. Kind of sounds like a bit of an elephant, but definitely a Nidus Worm.
Well, I don't want to wake up, you know, not wake up. I don't want to like alert people. You know, if I scream like a Nidus Worm, are you kidding?
Can you imagine if like the trunk of an elephant was a Nidus worm, and inside the elephant's head? Oh my god!
Whoa, science. It's like, imagine the secret. I don't know, man. I wouldn't really want to come out the other side of that Nidus worm, though, to be honest. At least if I was a Zerg unit.
Yeah, well, you guys got Banelings, so Ultras as well. It's kind of naming a few cool units. Mutalisks, of course, top of the cool list.
Yeah, you should be able to put flying units in Nidus worms. I don't get why you can't. It's like why you can't
You know
can
what?
put Vikings, right? In a medevac, you can put landed Vikings in a medevac. Why can't you put mutas in a Nidus worm, man? That's not balanced.
I didn't think about it until you brought that up, but I agree. They should be able to fold their wings, just take a dive
and just
down.
go in and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Brazilian Stream's gonna be hosting game number 2, guys. We'll just take a moment to get that ready to go here, but yeah, that was I don't know.
Pretty funny game, I would say. I mean,
it
was funky, right? Like you don't usually see that as much.
I was gonna bring up more that it's like you never see Nidus worms in competitive play, but Copa America, we're seeing Nidus worms all over the place. I'm loving it. Like,
you hit it right on the head. Like, you see the fun games, and that definitely was one.
There was one game actually last season where Jim Rising, just with lings, did like a Nidus worm with lings. There weren't banelings, there weren't roaches, there weren't queens. It just like had about 100 lings come out of the Nidus worm.
Oh my god! And they unload pretty slow when it's lings, right? Like,
yeah, like one at a
beefy
time.
units are roaches, but trying to unload. I would just make 2 anyway, just because it takes so long.
Oh, I just had the coolest idea. What if you could research an upgrade for a Nidus worm that made it so like units that were inside of it, like the first 6 units, would just get like thrown out of the ground with the Nidus worm.
Whoa!
So like
yeah.
you know, use the ragdoll effect and just throw them like 5 feet around randomly, so you get like the first like 10 queens out that way or something.
You make like 2 Nidus worms and like bounce from Nidus worm to Nidus worm. It's like and catch it. Like one shoots it out and the other one catches it.
How
sick
cool
control,
would that be?
man.
Do you remember when
That'd
they were actually going to make other types of Nidus worms? Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. It was what, in really early stages of the beta for HOTS when they
I mean they were talking about doing things like creating a Nidus worm that just is simply for spreading creep, or like one that would attack like a spine crawler type thing. Or, I mean, it would have been really cool to have those come into effect. Because Nidus worms, I mean, StarCraft2, some of the most exciting elements to it just don't get utilized. Nuclear missiles, Nidus worms, like they're so cost inefficient, and no one uses them because of that.
Uses it because of it, yeah. And like you're pretty starved for gas as a Zerg a lot. You know, like when you're trying to keep up with your upgrades and making banelings so you don't die. Whether it be
Tempo, but when you play a race that part of your strategy is to bank up 5k minerals and 5k gas and go to the late game with it, I have a hard time sympathizing with not having any gas.
Well, in the early game.
No, I know. I actually agree with you 100%. Because there's a lot of instances where you have
to
to spend that gas on what you said, like banelings, mutalisks, units to stop, units like marines that only cost minerals. It's not a fair trade, but also F you.
Hey, you can mine the gas if you wanted to, man. No one's stopping you from mining gas as a turn player. You might not use it all, but
yeah. Go to the merry-go-round for next map, guys.
Seems like it. Is that the map choice of Marineking here?
I don't. I
Loser
think they're all preset, so I don't know if it's. I think it's just done through vetoes, but we'll see if Mr. Marineking can live up to his name, or if he will go down in flames here with a 2-0. Sadly, with Copa America, guys, there is no losers bracket for these qualifiers. You're either in or you're out. It's only top 4, but it's still no losers bracket. So best of luck to all of these guys. A small update too. We have a haiku written in our Reddit thread for us.
Whoa! Shall I do the honors of reading it?
If you'd like.
All right. Let me load back up that. You don't have it bookmarked. You didn't bookmark the Reddit thread.
It's like, hello, Rifkin. Would you like me to read this thing that I don't have prepared in front of me?
You know what? Okay, a haiku. Rifkin Tempo Cast, Copa America 2, Qualifier 3. Beautiful by Dr. Awesome TBM. Yeah. Wonderful poet.
That 575 rule, man.
Yep.
So beautiful.
And it's, well, I was going to try to make a reference with the numbers, but 3 plus 2 is 5, but there's no way to do 7, I guess. Damn. I'm not that crafty.
Oh, man.
Countdown.
Yeah, countdown's beginning. Don't read Twitch chat. I'm sorry. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Or seconds. Alright guys, welcome back to Copa America Season 2. This is the third qualifier. We got one more qualifier to go before we lead into those group stages. Spawning here in the bottom central portion of the map though, in this second game, up 1-0 versus opponent. It's the blue Terran player. Or sorry, down 1, my mistake. Actually, I have to swap those names around now. There we go. Now that the overlay is correct, Terrific is not a fool. It is the blue Terran player from the Chaos Latin Gaming Academy, Marineking.
It's the opponent representing Solaris Gaming. It is the Red Zerg who is up 1, JonSnow.
What if we've been saying it wrong? Like, what if it's Marineking J?
Ah, it could
Like
be,
it's
actually.
GIF versus GIF, right?
Oh, God, yeah. I still don't even know.
You know what? I know at this point they've said, look, the official
GIF?
pronunciation is GIF. But it's kind of like, dude, just stop. No one's gonna, like...
Yeah.
You've
you're not
convinced
gonna
a
be
few
able to.
select old lady grandmas and zombie grub to pronounce it as GIF. Nobody else says GIF. Everyone says GIF.
GIF, man.
You know what? I think
Easy.
I've always thought it was a GIF, by the way, because the image, the animation, it's like a small gift that you get from a friend.
And you give it to somebody, right? Like, hey, have this GIF.
Yeah, it's always
My gift to you, right?
Exactly.
Sounds better than like Jif. You think like peanut butter when you think Jif.
I'll be there in a jiffy.
Well, yeah. Oh, whoa, wow. Look at what JonSnow's doing. Actually, this is a little different.
Well, JonSnow as well, but Marineking also taking a very, very early gas, so I can only imagine he's going for those faster Hellions. I just don't know why you would possibly take a gas that early if that wasn't the case, but yeah, as you point out, JonSnow going for a little bit of. I think an earlier gas is a bigger deal for a Zerg player than it is for a Terran.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he hasn't even made his hatchery yet. You know, he's already putting a Roach Warren, and Marineking is just about to scout with his SCV, and he's gonna be able to know. Oh man, he's trying to hide it. There's no way. There's no way.
I'm really sad. I had asked specifically, by the way, like I requested a build out of JonSnow. I was like, hey dude, I don't know how confident you're feeling, but you should do this if you're feeling brave. And he says, I'm not feeling brave, but I've got a cool build for merry-go-round. So I'm not sure what he has in mind specifically, but I told him he should abduct an SCV and neural parasite it and then win his Terran. But he didn't want to.
Wow.
He's like, yo, I don't want to waste 40 minutes.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
Now I'm going to like request that of every
yeah.
Zerg player. Like, I can't wait till we see Cats again. Because Cats would totally do that.
Would do it. I bet
Cats
he
would be the guy to do that, yeah. But a bro, oh, you know what this is? Actually, you know what? I remember seeing this. Starbuck from Team MIA actually did this as back in the Eastern Team Story Cup, guys, against versus Axiom, and with this build beat Ryung. The idea is you only get about 3 or 4 roaches, but because they have burrow and Terran players cannot afford to scan, and the healing regeneration of roaches is insane, they just kind of. Well, the idea is that they shut down a natural base, but because Marineking hasn't gone for a natural base, when Sid put 2 bunkers in the main because he's really scared of what he doesn't know is coming, it's kind of like the mission's already accomplished. He scans. This guy.
Yeah,
I want to be like, look, I'm not a coach for StarCraft, but bro, you gotta stop scanning so much. You've already got 2 bunkers down.
But he has the Reaper there too to pretty much find that out.
Exactly.
It will regenerate.
He's actually not seeing the roaches. There we go.
Oh, the roaches haven't seen the Reaper either, but there they go. But I don't think he's too concerned with that Reaper. The defense here from Marineking is gonna be pretty. Yeah, he's gonna get a tank. Okay, I was wondering if he was. Oh wait, do you think he's gonna just go ahead and?
That's the thing. He's just gonna burrow. So the tank might get a shut off, but they'll just heal up that damage real fast.
Yeah, that's when you shoot your own supply depot and get the splash damage on the roaches.
I hope that's not what's gonna happen, but it is a little bit scary seeing 2 bunkers there. That's for sure.
Yeah. But JonSnow is continuing to commit. He hasn't made any more additional drones. Hasn't made the hatchery, so he doesn't key. You know, JonSnow doesn't care about your bunkers.
He's already done mission accomplished. He's really just throwing his own hatchery at this point. I mean, he could try and one base it, but one basing with roaches without tunneling claws is gonna be difficult. If he gets a lair soon and a tunneling claws, that's a different story altogether. But at this point, it's like, yeah, take a natural.
He's well, let's see how this is gonna go. 8 Marines in these bunkers.
Bro, the front roaches. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, one of them falls though. There. Don't want to lose your roaches here at this point. There's no reason to.
He's also not focusing the SCV. So JonSnow, I don't know what fun build you have in mind, bro, but this is gonna take a little bit of control. I mean, there's 2 bunkers here, mate. 2 bunkers,
he's
Mike.
lost 3. Yeah, he lost 3 roaches. 4 roaches now, and now the siege tank has another blast on all of those units. Uh-oh, JonSnow may be playing a little bit too funky here, as he's gonna try to take his base now.
I got out Marineking. I was like, all right, Academy team, assemble. I need a coach real quick. Like, I messed up last game. What can I do this game? And I like to imagine someone's like over his shoulder saying, all right, do this.
Marineking is over his shoulder. It's like, okay.
Yo, if that was for real, Tempo, if that was for real?
For reals. It's the real deals. You know what? Well, this drop play may be pretty interesting because I don't think there are any units here for JonSnow.
For Marines, though, a queen and drones can deal with that.
But with the medevac healing, I think he could take out a queen. There's only one queen.
He's got a tank up. He should have just taken a full medevac. He doesn't need 2 bunkers with a tank up.
You must be nervous a little bit, but you have to keep your cool in these situations and just realize how late of a base that your opponent is taking and the moment of vulnerability that they will have because, you know, JonSnow is his army's at the front.
Yeah.
And he's taking 2 hatches of 600 minerals, and he hasn't been mining very heavily. So here we go. Comes the drop rift get inside of the main. These Marines, one of them might go down, but the medevac healing is pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Queens actually not focusing on the medevac. They're just putting all the DPS into the Marines. But I guess the big thing is the Marines don't have upgrades, they don't have combat shields, and they don't have stim. The Roaches are coming home, and he doesn't need to worry for too much longer.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, he's got already 3 drone kills, forcing mining time to be off, although he is oversaturated. But JonSnow not focusing the medevac, which is the real threat here, not the Marines to an extent.
A build cancel versus Marines. Oh my god, that's so weird to look at.
Yep.
Actually, he may just let that complete. It wouldn't be a bad idea, because one Spore Caller, you can move around and... it's just gonna make it an evolution chamber anyways.
Yeah, her potential Banshees. He is gonna go ahead and get the scout here. This is a Viking.
This is really problematic for our Terran player though. He's still on 1 base. He's only just now building his command center to expand with. And JonSnow's on 3. I mean, he doesn't have saturation at 3 bases, but this is the production he needs.
Yeah, but the drone count difference, right? It's 32 drones to 29. He's oversaturated, of course, on 1 base, and just now, well, not really oversaturated, just a little bit. I guess when he brings it back to mining, it's not too bad.
Well, it's going to be, because you got to consider he's got 4 CVs building things right now, so that's 4 more on top of the 19. Kind of oversaturated, just a wee bit.
A wee bit, right? He may be even better off just floating the command center over to his natural before he even turns it into an orbital so he can begin mining. As JonSnow is pretty much going to just be droning from here, it seems. But nope, I'm lying. 20 lings are on the way here, Rifkin. Oh my god, I don't know what he's going to do with these.
So we have scans going off again. He's looking to see what exactly he already sees though, so I don't know what he's expecting to do there.
Yeah, but the Pold Viking going ahead, taking out Overlord by Overlord, supply blocking JonSnow.
This is hilarious, by the way. I love JonSnow because I kind of maybe coerced him to feeling a little bit more cocky than he should, but I don't feel like he's gonna lose this game. If there's 3 CCs in the main for Marineking right now, maybe that's different. But you guys have to understand, a Terran's economy, I feel, is almost more delicate than any other race. He's actually pulled off a gas for some strange reason, has 27 SCVs mining now. So the saturation joke now actually becomes a real concern.
Now it is an actual thing, for sure. Even if you don't use I mean, he feels like he has too much gas, because, I mean, if you look at it, but there's no reason, of course, not to mine from the gas if you do have that saturation. But whoa, big run by here from JonSnow. These lings do come.
He forces out another scan on top of this.
Whoa.
He's gonna lose the bunker. The siege tank has to be a little bit worried, but with the scan, another scan getting burned. Like, you guys have to understand, this is such a big deal for a Terran player on 1 base. Every scan just really burns your pocket.
That's really big, man. And I mean, his other, okay, I guess he does have the orbital on that 2nd command center, but yeah, like you're saying, it's really important. And the fact that JonSnow is in his position where he took 2 bases behind kind of a pretty, I guess, would you call that a failed attempt when he did the Roach bust?
I call it a failed all-in, because, not because of, I don't like the way he handled it with the Marineking. Yeah, like, I mean, moving into attack the reactor was cool, but he didn't really target fire any of the SCVs, this and that, blah, blah, but JonSnow definitely feeling a little bit worried right now, going for the real build now, Tempo. So we got 24 links coming in at a moment's time. He's going for those upgrades as well as the Bailing Nest. This push should not be that game ending, but
no,
it is
will
certainly
force out
scary.
units, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, he's on 51 drones though, so he's pretty good. The tech is out here from Marineking though. Guess that stim +1 finished. 2 medevacs are here as well. No mutas are here yet, so he could abuse that a bit by moving into the main and 3rd.
It's overstimmed with his army though, and he's coming with his 42 circling. It's like,
Yeah.
The Zergling shouldn't win this fight. He could have used the high ground terrain. He could have baited a fight, I think, a little bit better positionally. But Marineking tries to save what he can. JonSnow, though, has bought all the time in the world. All he needed to do was wait till he had that Baneling nest down. Now I kind of feel like he's set for success.
I think he's good. He's actually good.
Oh, no! This drop coming out is full of... Okay, the 2 tanks are alright, whatever. But the 2 Marauders are actually the worst thing you could have in this drop right now. Because you need those 8 Marines to buffer for the tanks. To be the DPS that stops the Lings. These Lings will get on top of these tanks, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, in the time that it takes to siege, of course. I don't know how much damage is actually going to be able to be done here. I mean, the distance from the 3rd and the natural is really not that far.
Well, there's a thing here, very dynamic with the siege tanks, guys. If you don't know about this, siege tanks cannot one-shot Lings that have 1 armor upgrade. But siege tanks with 1 weapon upgrade can actually one-shot any level of armor upgrades from a Zergling. So it's a very awkward upgrade dynamic, but because JonSnow does have those armor upgrades, these siege tanks are actually not going to be very good, even in siege mode. Yeah,
and he might even lose one of them here. Gonna pick it up, that hot pickup. JonSnow is up to 70 drones. He's feeling pretty comfortable. +2 attack is gonna finish.
Oh no, Queen went down! Ah! Just kidding, here's 40 Lings.
But that medevac is pretty uncontested right now. Oh, this drone's gonna get...
I mean, the thing for Marineking that's kind of interesting is, I gotta tell you, like, his macro slips, but his micro is fantastic. His control of the game is good. He picks up at the right time. We've seen him with, especially with the Marines, do some great stutter step. I kind of feel like this guy, if he works on his macro, is going to be a pretty good player. But the problem is, as we see, like 200 minerals is a Terran player. He's been supply blocked multiple times this game. And he should have been ahead after defending an all-in, but came out behind because he didn't have the command center. Priority on units over economy.
Exactly. And the amount of scans that were used, in order, he didn't really have that economy like you were saying, so even to hurt it a bit more, not having those mules dropping when you were on one base is a bit unfortunate situation for you. But here JonSnow, really smart burrowed Ling here, rather, to scout the position of the army when it does move out.
It's really nice.
I think he's gonna be perfectly fine, Riff, man. I don't... this push here is gonna probably get shut down.
I mean, the Mutas can either cut off reinforcements or go for the mineral lines. Either way, he doesn't need them to defend. This army's got tanks and marauders more so than the Marines. Snipes off a tank really too. Wow.
Wow. Really nice here from JonSnow, of course, though, putting that creep with the Overlord so that he does have that mobility and is able to get the vision.
That's a lot of Banelings.
Yeah, that's a ton of Banelings. Oh, no, he's pulling a tempo! Flying his Mutas into Marines.
He's pulling a tempo.
I fly what are they? Mutalisks are very magnetic to Marines, I swear.
Oh, you know what? I've played random as Zerg, and I've had that feeling before, too.
Yeah.
But okay, the Baneling count is kind of insane. The tanks are not numerous enough to push these back. The Marauders, I don't think, are even enough to soak the hits. He doesn't have concussive shells, so there's no slow for this. I mean, the only advantage Marineking's going to do is if he fights off of creep. But even then, look at this.
Yeah. Well, here comes
with a swarm! He's missing some ultras from this, but panicked and running for his life. Could try and pick up and get out of here. Doesn't. Mutalisks are going to pick everything off. I do like that he pulls the medevac back, though. This is huge. Medevacs are very expensive to lose. 100, not something you want to give away, but there's just nothing left behind this. He's got 58 SCVs. Yeah, 58 SCVs and 6 medevacs.
Oh, he's moving down here, Marineking. I thought he was actually going to move down. He just doesn't have enough. JonSnow is going to barrel through the front of this natural, and the tanks are even in a position where they're going to get obliterated within maybe 2 shots. You know they're going to do their shots, but here they come.
Shots like some girl at a bar, Tempo. End up just getting wasted. You know what I'm saying? GG is going to be called. JonSnow will lock down the series with a very slick 2-0 and advance to round number 2.